Okay. Utah, what are you thinking? The Republicans in Utah, you want to talk about being hypocrites? Here it is. When we talk about packing the court, what do we all say? Don't do that. That's the end of the republic. It's always the end of the republic. When somebody starts packing courts, the next people that get in, they're like, oh, well, you change that number, so I can change that number too. We're going to have 12. We're going to have 20. We're going to have 30. We're going to have 55. You see Venezuela, you see Cuba, you see any country that has ever done this, they fall into totalitarianism because they realize they can just change the referees. They'll just add more referees, and they'll add the referees they like. Utah has had a real problem because you have all these judges that are legislating from the court. That's not the job of a judge. That's not what a judge does. Utah accepted, I think it's the Missouri system or the Missouri reform. I don't know what it is. Something to do with Missouri. And what it means is they're going to get together with all of the legal experts, and the legal experts are going to say to the governor, these are the ones you should pick from. Oh, okay. No. Can we stop being a country run by experts? We see exactly what the experts have done in every category. Stop it. So they decided, because the court system is overwhelmed. No, not the Supreme Court. The federal courts are, the state courts are, but not the state Supreme Court. There's a massive backlog in the lower courts, and people have been begging, hey, help us, and they were ignored. So they decided to expand the Supreme Court. Why? That wasn't overrun. It wasn't overwhelmed. This is not about efficiency. This is all about control. And I understand you have bad judges and they've been legislating, but you don't do this, Utah. You should hear history echoing here, okay? Because this is what happens all the time when a uniparty takes hold. The Republicans have had control of Utah forever, and so they're doing exactly what's happening in Texas. They get soft, they get mushy, they get embarrassed that they actually believe in the Constitution. And when power moves as a single organism, protecting itself, correcting its losses, punishing resistance, this is what they do. They made all these mistakes, all these compromises, and then what happens? After the compromises are there, they see what the result is, and they're like, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, well, let's do something even more dumb. Let's pack the Supreme Court of the state. Republicans, you don't get a pass here because Democrats would do it too. That argument damns the republic. It doesn't save it, it damns it. A legislature that expands a court after losing cases is not defending a republic. It's announcing constitutional limits only apply, unless they're inconvenient. What kind of hypocrites are running the GOP? And here's the deeper problem that nobody wants to say out loud. For decades, our universities have been captured by ideologues who openly despise the Constitution. I have a podcast coming with, what's his name? Constitutional scholar. Jonathan Turley. It's coming out this week. And he was talking, he kept ringing the bell. You don't understand what's happening in the universities, Glenn. It's Marxism, and they're all against the Constitution. They're teaching Marxism, not as theory, but as morality. And they're training our lawyers and our judges and our journalists and the bureaucrats to see the problem as something to be managed, not framework to be defended, because the framework is just not good anymore. The media, overwhelmingly drawn from the same institutions, doesn't check this drift. It sanctifies it. And in a state that was raised on the Constitution, you know better than this. Have you just grown timid? Apologizing before you even stand up, square your shoulders, and say, this is what the Constitution says. These are our founding principles. Why are you shrinking from conflict? As if defending principles is somehow impolite. It is not impolite. It is required of you to stand. A Republican cannot survive this kind of shyness. I know you're polite. I know you don't want to. I know you want to get along with everybody. You must stand or you will lose everything. You're going to become California. And then you think that state's going to last? Are you kidding me? One side is ruthless and the other side is reserved. And the ruthless always win. I know that's why we packed the court. No, you don't violate your own principles or you become everything that you despise. Utah once prided itself on being different, unusual, peculiar, grounded, constitutionally serious. You're not. Your road you're on, it's not leading you to any of that. When courts become political tools, when legislatures punish judges for rulings instead of fixing the law, when every law is answered with structural manipulation, you don't get Utah, you get California. Not all at once, not overnight, but inevitably you get it, and you're almost there. And once you cross this line, which you just crossed, there's no neutral ground left. Every future majority is going to feel justified doing exactly the same thing, only faster and only harsher. You think they're going to stop at 7? You had 5. You increased it to 7 because it's overwhelmed. That's a lie. That's a lie. Numbers are numbers. Math is math. Sorry, GOP. Math is universal. And some of us know the difference between an overwhelmed system and one that's not. Math is just a number. This is how separation of powers become a memory instead of a guardrail. I'm going to show you what just happened in Texas. Okay, Utah and Texas. This isn't just a bad bill. This is a warning flare to the rest of the country. Republics that ignore warning flares, you don't get a second chance on this one. When you start screwing around with the balance of a state or national Supreme Court, your republic is destined for disaster. Okay? That's just the truth. I don't like saying it. I don't want to be the one saying it. But if you're doing it, somebody's got to point it out and saying, what are you doing? Do you want that to happen at the federal level? You just set a precedence. It's not going to stop there. Oh, yeah, but we're always going to control. Oh, are you? Are you? Have you seen the numbers moving into your state? Have you seen what's happened to Fort Worth just this weekend? That's not conservative anymore. Fort Worth, it's known as Cowtown. It's not Dallas. That was the conservative part. Nope, not anymore. Not anymore, because Republicans were just like, we're Texas. We'll always be Texas. Have you seen the numbers of the people moving in from California? Florida, I warn you, have you seen the numbers moving in from New York? These people are not the ones that moved because they had a point. They now moved because it's just too expensive. It's just too crazy up there with taxes. They don't know they were the ones who built all of that system. Be careful. Be careful. Bad move, Utah.